Welcome to Skinner's Pragmatic Science and Engineering of Behavior Change, Session 6. The Tree of Dogmatic Knowledge, the Philosophical Roots. Here are the roots of the tree of pragmatic knowledge. They include dogmatism, indeterminism, rationalism, supernaturalism, faith, dualism, and obfuscation. Dogmatism, a preference for explanations and methods that maintain the status quo. Behavior maintained by social reinforcement, such as agreement, approval, publication, awards, authority, and money. Prediction and influence maintains the status quo. Indeterminism. Nature is disorderly and unlawful. Prediction and control are not possible. We can only influence. The goal of analysis for functional contextualists is the prediction and influence of events as a single integrated goal. Rationalism. Direct observation is unnecessary for understanding. Noam Chomsky never left his office. It's okay to include hypothetical constructs and explanations of behavior change. Hypothetical constructs are terms for unobserved entities, processes, or events. A language acquisition device is necessary for language acquisition. Rationalism has long been the rival of empiricism, the doctrine that all knowledge comes from and must be tested by sense experience. As against this doctrine, rationalism holds reason to be a faculty that can lay hold of truths beyond the reach of sense perception, both in certainty and generality. For example, people can derive relations between stimuli in a near infinite number of ways. Is derive a term for an unobserved entity, process, or event, inferred or assumed to occur, like Chomsky's language acquisition device? Supernaturalism. Non-physical, immaterial, unobservable, or inferred events which interact with the physical material world. For example, humans are born with a language acquisition device which allows them to learn language. No physiologist has ever discovered a language acquisition device in the brain. Is deriving relations between stimuli a non-physical, immaterial, unobservable, or inferred event which interacts with the physical, material, observable world? Faith. Do not question authority. If the article was published by the Journal of Applied Behavior Analysis, then there's nothing wrong with the procedure. A molar explanation of reinforcement can't be correct because it differs from Skinner's molecular explanation. Skinner's explanation of verbal behavior can't be correct because it contradicts Hayes, Barnes, Holmes, and Roach's post-Skinnerian theory. Dualism. There are both natural and supernatural events. Supernatural events cause natural events. Mind and body, spirit and substance, mental processes and behavior. Obfuscation, the act of making something less clear and less easy to understand, especially intentionally or an instance of this. If a theory, model, or explanation does not provide accurate prediction and control, make it more complicated. The abstract of the invited paper of the 10th International ABAI Conference in Stockholm, Sweden, Dermot Barnes Holmes. In principle, the theory aimed to provide a modern behavior analytic account of language, human language, and cognition, but it had a relatively limited impact on language teaching and training programs within applied behavior analysis. Although there are likely many reasons for this lack of impact, I will argue that one of the primary problems was the absence of a readily accessible systematic framework for presenting the key elements of the theory itself. This new systematization pragmatization of RFT is known as the hyperdimensional multi-level HDML framework. The key elements of the HDML for the purposes of language/cognitive training involve 20 intersections between 5 levels of relational development: mutual entailing, relational framing, relational networking, relating relations, and relating relational networks, which vary along 4 contextual dimensions: coherence, complexity, derivation, and flexibility. What does that mean? Relational frame theory's hyperdimensional multi-level model. 20 intersections multiplied by 2 DAARE model dimensions equals 40 components. Figure 3, a hyperdimensional multi-level HDML framework consisting of 20 intersections between the dimensions and levels of arbitrarily applicable relational responding, combined with the dimensions of orienting and evoking from the DAARRE model, Barnes, Holmes, and Hart. Now it's your turn. Pragmatic or dogmatic? Get ready. Indeterminism? Dogmatic. Empiricism? Pragmatic. Supernaturalism? Dogmatic. Skepticism? Pragmatic. Dualism? Dogmatic. Parsimony? Pragmatic. Determinism? Pragmatic. Rationalism? Dogmatic. Naturalism? Pragmatic. Faith? Dogmatic. Monism? Pragmatic. Obfuscation? Dogmatic. Skinner's Pragmatic Science and Engineering of Behavior Change. Next, session 7. The Tree of Pragmatic Knowledge.